You can just get away. Sup, Nerdmigos? I'm the Jive Talking Nerd, John Norgrove. We've got Wife here. Today is another review Jive. We watched for Terrible Movie Tuesday, Blast from the Past.
Yep.
Starring Brendan Fraser. This is
and Alicia Silverstone.
1999. I was going to say, it's either a 2000 or 1999. You could fucking tell. Let me
this
tell
movie
you what.
was so dated. Oh my gosh.
Brendan Fraser is such a young boy.
Yeah.
It's crazy town. It's super crazy town. Alright, so let's get to the description. Adam Weber, played by Brendan Fraser, has lived his entire life in confinement in a fallout shelter in Pasadena, California, where the Weber family's rations of food and supplies grow thin. Adam's eccentric father, Calvin, played by Christopher Walken, sends him on a dangerous restocking mission. When Adam emerges from the Weber family's subterranean refuge, for the first time, he finds the rumors of a nuclear apocalypse were totally false. He meets gorgeous Ease Rustikov, played by Alicia Silverstone.
Yep.
So this was a February release. Oof. Not to great avail. $35 million budget, $40 million in box office.
Yeah, I can't see that this movie would have performed well.
I believe makes it an industry failure. I think I remember somebody mentioning in one of the many review things that we watched that Hollywood doesn't consider it a success unless you double the budget. And it's because it has to be able to pay for itself and theoretically make another one. Plus, the Hollywood budget doesn't include some things involving like marketing and shit like that.
Yeah.
So that's why they say double. I don't know if that applied back then, but I know that that's in general the way that shit's looked at nowadays. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think. I think I remember it being like immediately not successful.
I mean, I remember
99.
seeing this like when it came out, like
Yeah.
in the theater,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't really remember much else from that. That was about 1 million years ago.
Yeah.
So
I feel like it was one of those movies that came out and then like 3 months later they're like available now on VHS tape.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay. Yeah. Let me tell you what, seeing like VHS tapes on Blockbusters and
it was a trip
like
seeing
that.
all the like old stuff in the background.
Cars.
Back when people could like smoke in movies.
Oh yeah, it's
especially the parts that take place in the 50s. Christopher Walken is like a tiny baby in this. He's so young.
Young Christopher
and
Walken.
I mean, really, everybody that's in it that's famous, and there's a lot of people who ended up being
there
at
were
least
a lot of people
pretty
in this
famous
movie,
or semi-famous.
Yeah.
Were like super young, so we spent a lot of the movie going like, "Oh, look at that! Oh, look at that!
Yeah. Look who that is! Look at that!
Yeah.
Whatever! Yeah,
yeah." So there was a lot of that. There were parts of this movie that both stood up to the test of time very well, and then also not well at all. So that was really interesting. Like, you know, as the times, you know, change, it shows like, you know, once they go into the nuclear shelter, you know, it shows how like things were like decade by decade kind of, and it really was interesting to see the way that did. Yeah, it is an adventure.
It's a real adventure.
And the way that things were when they came out, which would have been in 1999, because, you know, it says present day, so we laughed because that was like 20 years ago.
Yeah, 21 specifically.
So some of the stuff that takes place in present day really actually would take place in present day, so that was kind of interesting. And you know, the way that some of the characters handle those things.
It's pretty good. There's there are a couple of things that are like weirdly ignored. Like he doesn't ask about the card for the key for the room being a card. He doesn't make any fuss about
Brendan
that,
Fraser
which is super at a Best Western. This is another one of those like oddly product placey sort of movies.
Yeah.
But so like he never asked about the card, which I was just like I was waiting for a line about that, and it never happened. Like on multiple occasions, people talk about computers or the internet, and other than him being like the computer can fit in the house, like he just accepts that the internet is a thing, which is pretty funny.
Which was really kind of odd when you think about it.
Yeah,
like, that just kind of doesn't really.
So
make sense.
like there's some like sort of logical weirdness like that in the movie, but I mean in reality this is sort of like peak Brendan Fraser-iness.
Well,
you know,
this is like
where
at the beginning.
He's just
he
being
wasn't
weird.
Peak
Well,
here.
but it's peak
This
Brendan
is one of his, like,
Fraseriness.
early
This
movies.
isn't the peak of his career, which would probably
He's still
be the
kind of
Mummy
like
movies.
wacky and goofy,
But
and
this is why he got
silly
famous,
and kind of
right?
innocent feeling, and so this is before, like, you know, he did like his action movie stints, and
Yeah,
you know,
if you think
before
about it,
most of the Pauly Shore movies that he was in.
If you think about it, this movie is when he's the most himself, and the Mummy is like a refined version of that. But I mean, I don't know if you know, like, so he sort of disappeared from the face of the earth, and the like official, like, his checkmark says sort of response is that the Mummy, like, destroyed his body, and the Mummy did in fact destroy his fucking body. He was in and out of surgery during those movies, and it, like, is, like, permanently damaged him. And it took a long time for him to recover, so the Mummy is certainly a large part of to blame why he left. You know, I don't know how...
There's other stories.
How far any of the other
there.
if the other stuff goes with regard to like issues with Bedazzled and not making a number 2 and things like that. You know, I've always really liked Brendan Fraser as an actor, so, you know, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt on these things and just assume that it was just, like, he just didn't want to deal with that. I know he's doing, like, TV shit now.
Yeah.
But, like, even compared to what I would consider his absolute peak, which is probably the first Mummy movie, this is such a more physical person.
Yeah.
Right? He's so much more physical in the way
but
that he acts.
it's physical in a different way.
It's not like fighting. No, I mean the way that he, instead of acting and then doing physical stuff, in this movie he's almost acting through his physicality. Like you can see the, like, sort of awkward kid way of acting. And yes, part of that is because the character is like a 35-year-old man who looks like he's 21, who's been trapped in a bomb shelter with his weird
and there's like a throwaway line about
parents.
that for a while. It's like, maybe when you live on the surface you just age faster, and we were like, ouch, shots fired.
I mean, that's true. Not clean air, sunlight.
The other thing about this
about
that
a sunlight room in the bomb shelter. I just realized that they never talk about a light room.
well, the bomb shelter was really cool because it had, like, everything. Like, this dad, this family planned to the limit.
Everything,
they planned
dude. It's
so far
crazy.
as to have, like, birthday presents for Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, and they have, like, fabric, and he has, like, wood, and
he has,
there's,
like, a little miniature
like,
Home Depot
supplies and
they
shit.
have
So
supplies
it's really good, and, you know, I mean, it's a good movie. It's an adorable movie with regard to...
Yeah, it is adorable. I
being,
wouldn't
like,
say
a
that it's
timepiece.
necessarily a terrible movie, because it is kind of adorable, but it's very much a product of its time.
I get why it would be called a terrible movie. It is incredibly schlocky.
It is very schlocky.
It is super schlocky, and that's not the fault of the writing or the fault of Brendan Fraser, or in all reality, the fault of time itself. It's not that the movie's gone down.
I mean,
it's
makes
just that
extra funny, though.
It's well, in reality, the difference in time probably benefits the movie from our viewing standpoint.
Oh, probably.
But really, I think what makes the movie schlocky is the fact that it's just such a fucking weird idea that's put out in such a strange way. I mean, you know, like, the whole time we were thinking, we're like, oh, it's like Kimmy Schmidt, it's like Kimmy Schmidt, it's like Kimmy Schmidt.
Yeah.
And it sort of is, but Kimmy Schmidt...
But also, like, not.
Kimmy Schmidt is, like, this sort of nearly self-aware sort of comedy that really holds a mirror against those kind of movies.
Yeah.
And this is one of those kind of movies where it's just like, oh, like, we're just gonna not address any of the stuff. We're gonna make just... Let me tell you what, 1999, you could make some fucking untoward jokes in that.
Yeah, you
when
could.
he first walks
It
out,
is not very
one of my
PC.
favorite parts of this movie is when the son finally goes out on a shopping spree, and he's like, oh yeah, he's like looking at this male lady. There's this like heavy set male lady, and she's like standing there, and she's just like,
as in
why
U.S. male. Like
yeah, oh yeah, like
male.
U.S. Yeah, U.S. There's also a male lady, like a dude chick, but that's a different thing. The dad interacts with that and then comes down and is just like, you won't believe what I have to see.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Which was funny. But no, and this USPS carrier is like looking at him just like, do you need something or whatever? And he's just like, my lucky stars, a Negro, and you're like, oh shit.
And we were just like,
we can't do that anymore. Like, it's, you know, so you have things like that which don't age well by relative comparison, but it's not meant to be derogatory, and if somebody gets offended by it, like, kind of fuck them. Really. But it was
really meant to show the difference in the way that kind of stuff was looked at.
Was talked about and looked at in those
60s,
different times, yeah.
And now, because, like, his parents, they didn't have, you know, like, parents of the, you know, people who were parents in, like, the 60s, you know, they may still have some outdated viewpoints, but they've also been forced to see transformation as it happens, right?
Yeah.
But Brendan Fraser's parents
were basically locked up in a time capsule, so they never moved forward in their social opinions.
Like, he's not allowed to swear. He thinks that swearing is actually French. Yeah. Although he was taught French, so I don't really...
It was a 16th century colloquialism,
16th
meaning
century
good day or some
colloquialism.
Shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very funny.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a lot of that stuff where it's like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if someone in a time capsule from like the mid-60s popped out, you know, in the late 90s.
Really, this is a time travel movie, but without the like necessary sci-fi-ness of time travel.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a hilarious movie, right? The whole start with it's just an airplane crash, but the dad and the mom think that it's like a nuclear bomb because
which
the
is
Rusties.
Hilarious to us because we just watched Battle Los Angeles and learned the origins of that, which isn't far off.
Yeah. In fact, when we were watching this, we're like, is this gonna be the 1942 shelling thing? And then they're like 1962, and we're just like, no, it's not. Okay.
Yeah.
Because if they had started in the 40s and this was based on the Battle of Los Angeles in 1942, I'm pretty certain I would have just turned it off and been like, we're done. It's too many references. I'm not gonna trust it. I don't like it. I'm not gonna do it.
There's too much coincidence. We cannot deal with this.
But no, I mean, you know what? It's a schlocky movie. Yes, it's like sort of lowest common denominator comedy with regard to like the jokes are just like real one-liney. But it's still a good movie. The comedy hits. Most of the jokes still land. I mean, I feel like really I want to know what somebody who wasn't alive then, like somebody born in 2000, you know, or even somebody born in 99, right? I mean, you know, they're not remembering movies from being fucking 2 months old and shit. So like I want to know what they would think from it, because I feel like maybe part of the humor is because like we get those references.
And like I remember being alive.
Yeah, and we were like there for that.
Yeah.
We went to Blockbusters, you know, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I would love to see what like a young person thinks of the movie, just to sort of get like do these jokes actually hold up, or is it just like nostalgia? Blinding our eyes, you know, but really, there's not really like a lot of faults in the movie.
Really, the main thing that I didn't like about this movie was Alicia Silverstone's character, and that's not her acting, right? Her acting was fantastic, but the way that they had her character lean into just kind of being like
a bitch,
a snotty bitch, was really annoying. Because like
just
she
very
has
like WWE heel turns. Just she's like I don't want anything to do with you, and he's like, but I need some help, and she's like, all right, best friends forever.
Yeah,
what are we gonna
and he's kind of like, I need to find a wife, and she's like, it's not gonna be me. Please let it be me. Like there's some things that happen
in the beginning. She's like, yeah, I'll help you find a wife, and then like she goes and takes him out to a club, and he like immediately like hits it off with this, like, first of all, Brendan Fraser is the fucking smoothest cat on earth in this movie.
Man,
Every chick, he's like, "What's
so
up?"
Smooth.
Sploosh. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, he goes up to this chick.
French to one lady.
And
like,
they start speaking French, and it's just like, and she, you know, they're like immediately hit it off. And
then Alicia Silverstone
is just like, not that hoe, and pulls him away.
And then he goes and he sees a pretty lady from across the bar.
She directs them to talk to this. She's like, what? Like, she's like, we gotta find somebody for you. And they're like her gay roommate.
Yeah.
Whose name I'm forgetting right now, but he's like, what about that lady over there? And she's just like, yeah, like, okay, why don't you go up and talk to that guy?
Brendan Fraser is like, she's pretty sure. He comes up to her, and it seems like she's probably known to like turn down everyone.
Yeah, she starts with the way
that they set it up
face.
and the way that he approaches her.
Yeah.
But then he says something ridiculous because he's really from the 60s, and she's not, and she laughs, and then her friend comes over, and he's got her laughing, and then swing dance comes on. Remember that 90s, like late 90s, early 2000s period where swing pop became a thing again, guys?
Swing pop. Pre-electro pop, post real swing.
Swing pop happens, and Brendan Fraser goes out and does this like amazing dance set, probably with the help of like a body double, but I don't know.
You know what? I would honestly believe that he didn't use a musical double, because that dance routine you could probably learn in a week.
You probably could, but the scenes,
especially if you're as physical
as
he is.
Like, he definitely was good, but like there were some that seemed like it was some of the more complicated moves that seemed like
certainly maybe the lifts.
But like he's over there doing this amazing dance set
just, like,
with two ladies, and then the dance is over, and they're just like, ah! Like,
and
obviously,
Alicia Silverstone is fucking furious.
Livid.
She's just like, we need to get the fuck out of here. Blah, 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 blah. And then she leaves with her ex-boyfriend, who is played by
oh, I don't know.
Damn it, Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
Who young Nathan Fillion, he's adorable. I love him so much as an actor. I totally fucking forgot he was in this movie, by the
same.
way. And he plays just like this fucking prick of an ex-boyfriend. It's amazing. But so, like, she leaves with Nathan Fillion or whatever the fuck, right? And then, like basically, like, the gay roommate has to, like, arrange a bunch of stuff and come home and just be like, he went, like, she's like, oh, where's Adam? And he's just like, I don't know. We left not at the same time. We didn't leave together.
And then she's
like, what? And he's just like, yeah, I don't know. He left with one of the chicks. You saw him out on the floor. He was crushing it. And she's like furious. And she's like, I'm gonna go stop him from making a mistake. And like goes to chase after him or whatever. But it's like every time it's like she's in on it and then she doesn't like him. And then she doesn't like him and all of a sudden she's in love with him. And it's just these like hard turns in her character.
Yeah, and it turns out love was there all along, which is fine, but the way that her character was portraying this like turn to love was really very like playground childish, like, I hate boys but I love boys.
Yeah, it really was sort of young and childish.
It was very dissonant for me in this movie. If she had like been a little less, if her character had been a little less that way, I think it probably would have been a better movie overall, to tell the truth.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I totally agree. Okay, so favorite character in the movie. Who's your favorite character in the movie? There's a lot of fucking character in this
Brendan Fraser, obviously.
No,
I've
not
had
even
a crush on that man
not
since
even
the beginning of time.
Brendan Fraser is number 4. All right, the best character far and away is the fucking cult leader, priest, who like lives in / owns the like abandoned bar. First of all, his character through time is just a story of drugs in Southern California. All right, and him being like this insane priest, and then the fucking moment everything's revealed at the very end of the movie, like they're like, it took a little while to convince him that that we're not gods, but now he's ready to whatever, and it shows him that, and he still has that stupid fucking forehead tattoo, and he's got his long hair like back in like a ponytail or whatever, and he's like, if we're gonna do it like this, we gotta, like, he's immediately a business guy. He's the fucking funniest character. The fact that he just blacks out every time he runs into these people, he's the best to me. It's such a great, like, plot character, right? Because his character is just a plot device, but it's perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely fucking fantastic. I'm gonna give this movie 4 out of 5. 5 out of 5 is certainly a better Brendan Fraser movie.
I'm going to give this 3 out of 5. Alicia Silverstone's performance really kind of broke this movie a little bit for me.
You know what? I'm okay with it because the 90s were a weird time for rom-coms.
They were. But I'm still going to give it a 3 out of 5.
They endeavored towards a character arc. I don't know. I think that, like, yes, she is annoying as a character in this, but everybody else is just so good. The dad is good, being crazy inventor.
Oh, yeah.
The mom just being a raging alcoholic who doesn't want to be there is fantastic. Yeah. Like, just... Everybody else is written so fantastically. I mean, it's probably a little fucked up about SoCal people, but I'm from NorCal, so I get it. But yeah,
yeah, watch it.
Watch it.
We rented this, so we're not sure if it's available anywhere for streaming. We rented it. It was like $4.
It was $2.99.
Oh, okay. So, you know, it was definitely
only like $8
worth...
or $10 to buy the dang thing.
Yeah, it was definitely worth the small amount of money that we spent on it to rent it.
Yeah, definitely. So rent it, watch it, tell us what you think. If you remember this movie, what did you think? Did you see this movie when it first came out? If you have young children, show them this movie. This is like a not untoward movie. So, like, show them this movie and let us know what they thought about it, because I am really interested to see, whenever I think of an older movie, I'm always interested to see what do the kids think about it. Like, is it funny to them, or are they just like, what the fuck is happening right now? Honestly, I truly believe some kids are going to be like, I don't get it, you know? It's like that kind of thing. But I've been John Norgrove, this has been Wife. This is Review Jive. We watched Blast from the Past, starring Brendan Fraser and... Alicia Silverstone? Yeah.
Yeah.
And, what's his name?
Christopher
Walken.
Yep.
And guest star from Nathan Fillion. Guest appearance from Nathan Fillion for the fucking
give it
secret
a watch.
win. Give it a watch. Tell us what you think about it. Don't forget to like this video, comment, share, subscribe, do all that kind of crap.
All that other good stuff.
Yeah, we'll catch you guys next time.
See you later.